All right, you all, welcome back to episode 7 of season 2, The Shift. Having so much fun doing what we do. You see, we're all decked out, getting ready to pay homage here to Naughty by Nature. First off, before we get started, I want to give just a quick shout out to all of our followers and supporters and fans, just like I always do. Showing mad love. Our audience is growing by the numbers every single day, so appreciate everybody that's showing love. Showing everybody around our team around us, our families, everybody that's pushing us to do well. We truly appreciate it. We do it for the love, we do it for the culture, we do it for hip hop. All right. So today we're gonna be talking about Naughty by Nature. I brought in a special guest for you all real quick. And you all have seen this gentleman once before, Mr. Mac Xavier, one of the artists of the DB Entertainment Company with the DB crew. So we're shouting out DB crew here today, and Mac has been on the show before for Ice-T. He is a phenomenal artist, you guys. If you all have not heard of Mac Xavier, you will soon, because their brother is up and coming, and he's been on the show before. So Mac, what's been going on, my dude? How you doing, man? What's good with you?
I am living, brother. My man, my mellow, what's popping, bro? What's good? How you feeling? You good?
Yo, I'm good, man. I'm having fun. Still loving what we doing. And so can you tell the folks that's listening and watching, since you have been on here last, now we got listeners now. So now we got listeners all over the world. So shout out to our listeners on all of our podcasting platforms as well, too. So we were growing a little bit, Max, since the last time you joined us, you know what I mean? Growing a little bit. But can you talk to us about any future projects you're working on, or what can we hear from you in the near future? What are you working on?
Yeah, so I actually I'm working on a new single right now. Single is in production.
Okay.
I got my man from back home, my man Unc Smooth, and the homie Recognized. Big shout out to the homie Recognized, man.
Word.
Music representative. So I got a new single with those two coming out soon. Looking probably at the end of January. So y'all be on the lookout for that, man. And huge shout out to Diggie, man. Big shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to y'all's podcast. I love what y'all are doing. I said it last time, and y'all are just growing more and more and more. I love the new movement. I love the movement. I'm loving what I'm seeing. Y'all keep it up, man. And big shout out to all the listeners around the world, man. I appreciate all of y'all for the love, for real.
Yo, man, we love you too, man. Like, I remember when I first met you, I was like, yo, man, like, you're so talented. And then when I started listening to you a little bit more, I was like, yo, he's like really talented. I'm like, oh, man, like, I was really sleeping on Mac. But so shout out to Shevin real quick, you guys. So Shevin is another artist on DB Entertainment who couldn't make it with us today. He had a death in the family. So Shevin, our thoughts and prayers are with you, my brother. And hopefully we'll see you back in the show later on in the season, man. So our thoughts are with you. But let's showcase and talk about today's artist. Today's artist is all about paying homage to Naughty by Nature. All right, one of the biggest trios in the history of hip hop, and I want to give you all some short accolades and some history real quick. So the trio, Tretch, Vinny, and KG, these three guys have been together since high school. They go a long way back. They were growing up in East Orange, New Jersey. As the story goes, KG was trying to put together a hip hop group. He met Vinny. And then they were like, Vinny and KG was like, yo, man, I need a rapper, man. Like, I need somebody to, and Vinny was like, yo, I know a guy. So they brought in Tretch, and then that's how the group got started. So their accolades and their homage in hip hop is unmatched right now. So they are a one-time Grammy winner, a one-time American Music Award winner. They had 3 albums within the period of the shift. Their 3 albums is a self-titled Naughty by Nature, which starts out with Yoke the Joker. And me and Mac are going to be definitely talking about Yoke the Joker. So if you all have never heard of Yoke the Joker, go out there doing your hip-hop homework. Yoke the Joker is just a dope-ass track, all right? OPP, Everything's Gonna Be Alright, one of my favorite songs, Uptown Anthem. And me and Mac were having a conversation about this earlier. There's another kind of hidden gem on the first album called Let the Hoes Go. So Let the Hoes Go kind of has like an up-tempo kind of flow, but if you go back and really listen to it, Tretch just murders that track. Like, he lyrically just goes off on it. And I think Tretch is criminally just not... what I would say, just criminally robbed of his lyrical ability, his lyrical skill, man. So hip hop, we gotta do better, all right? So second album was 1993, released in February of 1993. So the big hits were, of course, Hip Hop Hooray, Take It to Your Face, which is on the Above the Rim soundtrack for my Above the Rim fans out there. That basketball movie that had Tupac in it, and our guy, what's his name? Can't think of my man's name that was in there too. But it was all-star cast. Marlon Wayne's in the movie. Dope movie. It's on there, and Written on Your Kitten, some of the other singles that came off of that album. And then the last album was Poverty's Paradise, which was released in May of 1995, which has one of my favorite songs, Clap Your Hands, Feel Me Flow, The Craziest. Everybody loves The Craziest. That video was just crazy, yo. And then Sunshine is on there too, some of my favorite tracks. So the first album platinum, second album platinum, the last one went gold, but the last one is the album that won hip hop album of the, I think it was hip hop album of the year at the Grammys that year. So that is all of the accolades that we have for Naughty by Nature. So Mac, let's have a conversation, my brother, about Naughty by Nature. Once again, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule, my dude, to come out hang out with me on a Thursday during the middle of the week. But I know it's tough, man, but I appreciate you and our fans and our listeners appreciate you as well too, man. So let's start at the top. Let's start about when you open up the Naughty by Nature first album, the very first song you hear is Yoke the Joker. So how did you feel when you first heard Yoke the Joker? What were your first initial thoughts about that?
Man, the way he comes in, like the way he hits you, like it's kind of like an avalanche, right? I mean, because the song kind of starts out innocently enough, even though like for me the song is super hip hop with the sample and the boom bap. So it starts out as a traditional, like you get that traditional early 90s, mid 90s hip hop kind of sound.
Yeah.
And then when he comes in, man, he just like he smacks you with it.
Yeah.
For me, the bars are crazy enough, but the way he delivers the cadence, man, the cadence is everything. The cadence is it's mind blowing. So I think for me, man, like we were before we started, we were talking about Eminem's reaction to it, the effect it had on Eminem. And for Eminem, he literally said, he was like, my world ended. I heard, like, I thought I was a pretty good rapper, right? I thought I was pretty legit with my little pen game and all that. But then I heard Yoke the Joker, and he was like, I didn't write a rap for the whole summer.
The whole summer, yeah.
That's like whole summer. And so for me, like, I mean, this is a whole different conversation. But in my opinion, Eminem is the most talented rapper to ever grace a microphone. So for that song to affect Eminem like that, like it tells you how amazing that song is. Like for real, like Tretch really, really killed that. Like he absolutely destroyed it. So and for that to be like the first joint gate, just man.
That's how the album starts out. It's the first song on the album. You're like, oh my God. Like, and I was telling Mac before this, you guys, like I tried to see if I could have the ability to memorize it. I can't, yo. I can't. The cadence is too hard. But it's small little simple words. Like they're really, really small. But he's just, the way he rhymes and the pattern is, I need y'all to go out and check it out. If you have not heard Yoke the Joker, if you're a hip hop fan, if you've not heard of it, go back and go check it out. It's like the way it starts out, and then he kind of like puts in words that you're thinking, like, I didn't even mean to do that. Like, it's just mind blowing the way that he put that song together, man. And then, Eminem's reaction to the video in Art of Rap with him and Ice-T, and he was telling Ice-T like you said, Mac, I didn't write a whole rhyme for the whole summer. We're talking about Eminem, one of the best lyricists of all time. So that just got to show you that penmanship of Tretch is just criminally underrated, you guys. And when I went back, Mac, and saw some of the greatest lyricists list, I didn't see Tretch on there at all. So I'm like, man, that's kind of messed up, yo. Like, criminally underrated, right? So one of the things that Naughty by Nature is known for, Mac, and I'm sure you can allude to this too, is big songs, big anthems, right? So they had OPP, they had Hip Hop Parade, they had The Craziest, they had Feel Me Flow, big anthems, right? Hugely, widely known for their anthems. So what is your opinion about that? How do you feel about hip hop anthems? So do you think that is a way for you to cross over and be radio friendly, or I think Naughty by Nature is Anthems are very good. You can chant to them. They're fun. You know what I mean? But is it more of a gimmick, you think, or what is it? What is your opinion about that? Hip hop anthems.
Man, for me, I think it's a good thing if you. It's like anything else, right? It's good in moderation. It's good for you in moderation, right?
Yeah.
For me, it's about balance. If you when you're talking about anthems, I mean you think about, I mean the key, right, is being able to draw in your audience, and being able to reel them in with something that they can easily with something they can access easily, right? In terms of hooks, in terms of how catchy the song is, because I think it all goes back to, and I don't want to take it too far back here, but I think it all goes back to our ancestors in Africa,
Yep.
right? If you go back and you look at all the tribal dances and the tribal ceremonies that the Africans have, it's very similar to the way most anthems are in hip hop. It's really catchy.
Yeah.
The beat is really simple, and you often hear words repeated over and over and over again. So I think it all connects, and it kind of harkens us back in some level to our ancestors back in Africa. So I think in that sense, it really captures the essence of blackness.
Yeah.
For lack of but yeah. If done correctly, it can be a really, really powerful tool, man. I think for me, and I was literally thinking about this when I was listening to OPP.
Yeah.
I actually, and this is probably going to throw a lot of people for a loop, but for a long time, I actually did not know what OPP actually meant. I was just jamming to the joint, right? I was just jamming to it. And for a long, because that was the first, actually, Hip Hop Parade was the first Naughty by Nature song I ever heard.
Okay.
OPP was the second.
Okay.
So those two joints, I mean, I would always just jam to. My mom used to blast Hip Hop Parade all through the house all the time growing up. So and OPP I kind of caught on to a little bit later on, but I would always you can just see it, right? I mean, when you listen to the song, it's some songs that you can just listen to and you can just picture like them being, that artist being in a stadium or being in a club or being wherever, and that song just going and the crowd just, you know what I mean? Those are two of those songs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You down with OPP? Yeah, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
And so I think it's really amazing how they did that, how they kind of set that trend. Because if you go back and you look, like there weren't that many really hip hop anthems like that really popping off back then. You know what I mean? Obviously you had a few, but they really kind of ushered in the era of the anthem.
I would definitely agree with that, especially for that time of hip hop in the early 90s. There were big songs, and there were I wouldn't say even big songs. There were big entertainers, but there was no like real. OPP is a big song. You know what I mean? Hip Hop Parade is a big song. Like they made some huge songs in the early 90s. And then of course, once you get to the mid 90s and the late 90s, hip hop shifts again, and they had a hard time keeping up, and that's just hip hop, you know what I mean? The times changed a little bit. But so one of the songs that I like, Feel Me Flow is another one too. It's kind of another one of those catchy anthems, feel me flow, now holla if you hear me, yo, come and feel me. Like it's really catchy, like really simple hooks, and it just kind of draws the audience in, you know what I mean? And to your point, Mac, it's like, it doesn't have to be overly complicated. You just got to put simple words in there, something they can chant and have interaction with the audience. And also to your point that you brought up, what I thought was great was, when you do it, when you're doing the song live, like having interaction with the crowd and having them react to some of the things that you're doing. Like no one really thinks about that anymore. You know what I mean? Like who thinks about that in a song? So that's going to be my next question. So you as an artist, if your A&R comes to you and says, hey, I need you to write an anthem, do you think it's more of the artist, or is it more of the industry driven? Like, is it, how things happen in the music biz, they're going to come to you and say, hey, Mac, I need a track that's radio friendly, you know what I mean? And, some artists are like, yo, that's going against what my art is. So do you think how do you feel about that? Do you feel like it's more driven from the industry or from the artists themselves, or a little bit of both even?
I think it's both. I think it's all a matter of how you approach it, right? I'll take an artist like Kendrick. If you go back and look at his first major label album, Good Kid, Mad City, what's like arguably the biggest song on that joint is Swimming Pools.
Yeah.
Right. So if you actually if you listen to Swimming Pools, like if you just listen to it on the surface, it's got everything that you need for a radio friendly song.
Right.
It's got a dope beat, it's got a really simple beat, and it's got a super catchy hook. Right.
Yep.
And it's like if you go back and you look at it again on its face, it sounds like a song that you would turn up to in a club, right? It goes in the club. Like I've heard it play in the club, and the crowd goes crazy for it. I've been there.
Yeah.
So on its face, it sounds like a turn up song. But if you actually go back and listen to it, it's actually an anti-drinking song.
Yep.
So it's like Kendrick was able to give you the best of both worlds, right? He was able to give you that radio friendly, accessible sound that goes off in the club and that the people want to hear, while also giving you his essence, while also giving you a part of his message. And not only did he give you a part of him in that song, but it also made it really cohesive with the theme of the entire album. So it's doable. It's just a matter of being able to tap into both of those areas, to both of those aspects of yourself, and really bring both of those sides out. So, and again, when done correctly, the anthem can actually be a really, really powerful tool in your arsenal, man.
Yeah.
Because it draws your audience to you. They listen to your song, they hear it, it's super catchy, they think it's dope, and then they want to hear more from you. And then that's when you give them the message. And if you're really good, like Kendrick Lamar, you can do both at the exact same time.
Yeah.
So I think it's amazing. It's a testament to Kendrick and a Naughty by Nature. It's gonna be tying it back into the group that we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's a testament to artists like that can be possible, because they really kind of open the door, like we said, in terms of creating a lane for that to be possible.
Yeah, I think that what I would say is, with them creating music, they created their own music. They produced a lot of their own music as well too. So a lot of the production credit went to them. And KG was a phenomenal producer. Matter of fact, KG, he kind of went on his own little bit and made Illtown Records. So Illtown Records was a part of the Flavor Unit, and he made Janae was on there. Coffee Brown was off of Illtown Records. And I'll talk about Janae at the end of this real quick. But so the last thing I want to point on, Mac, is Treach's relationship with Tupac Shakur, the late great Tupac Shakur. They were the best of friends. And one of the things that people tend to forget is how close they actually were. So if you go back, I think we talked about this, was it last week or the week before, about the movie Juice. So if you go back and watch the movie Juice, Tupac is in it, but Treach is in it too. So that's why they kind of got together and had a friendship. And Tupac was like, yo, man, like, you could do movies. So Treach was doing movies. He was doing TV shows. He kind of expanded his game a little bit, you know what I mean, in the early 90s there too. But his relationship with Tupac, it was when I was, going through and doing he did a song about him called Mourn You Till I Join You, which was dedicated to Pac and his life and his memory. And it's a great way, if you want to do an anthem, not really an anthem, if you want to do a pay homage song to a fallen brother, Mourn You Till I Join You is what you need to, is the blueprint of how you do that. It's well articulated. He pours his heart out. He leaves it on the track. But one of the things I want to mention about that, Mac, is, how do you view Pac and Treach, like their relationship, and what does it mean to hip hop? What does that relationship mean to hip hop?
It means everything, man. It's for me, because if you look at especially hip hop today, if you look at it, it's kind of a lost art, really, right? In terms of artists actually being able to have a relationship like that, and for them for it to be that organic, and for them to come and flourish not even just through the music, but even just in life in general, right?
Yeah.
Because nowadays, I mean, it's a lot of me, right? It's a lot of numero uno. Everybody's out for the bottom line. Everybody's kind of looking out for themselves. And so when you see two legendary artists like that, man, really able to come together on a genuine level, with a genuine friendship, and then it spill over into the music. It's a beautiful thing, man, and it's better for hip hop. Because at the end of the day, for me, hip hop, one of the founding principles of hip hop is unity.
Yeah.
Right. And hip hop was created as a way for us to be united under all types of pressure from the government, from America, from racism, from outside forces. And so we created hip hop kind of as a way to have something of our own, and for us to really close ranks and unite. So for me, unity is extremely important in hip hop, man. And so to see a relationship, again, like we said, to see a relationship thrive like that one did, at a really organic, genuine level, man, it's beautiful to see.
Yeah, and on top of that, what I also forgot to mention about the history of Naughty by Nature, they were actually not really founded, but they had a very close relationship with Queen Latifah as well, too. So Queen Latifah was able to put them on the map in a sense. So without Queen Latifah, you know, and she's also in Juice. It's like Juice is like the movie that kind of put everybody on the map. You know what I mean? That was one of my favorite movies too, because my yeah, you know what I mean? Like my dream when I was a little kid was to be a DJ, like to be GQ. I mean, like to be cutting and scratching and mixing, like, you know what I mean? That was my dream. But when I go back and look at it, I'm like, wow, all the hip hop stars at that time are in that movie. Like it's crazy. It's like a time capsule. You know what I mean? Like it really, really is, man. But so to wrap things up, Mac, if I were to give you like all of Naughty by Nature's catalog, every last single album that they have, which one do you pick out and why?
Man, that is a good question, man. For me, man, I would have to go with the first one, because I think I'm kind of partial to debut albums.
Okay.
Because debut albums.
You're talking about their album or their song? Which one be? I'm trying to see if I stay with you here, brother. So you're talking about their first album or the first song?
Yeah. So I'm referencing that the first album for me was really the one that kind of drew me in. In terms of songs, that's an even tougher one because they have so many beautiful, beautiful songs, man. For me, I think Hip Hop Parade is gonna sound really gimmicky and cliche, man. But Hip Hop Parade is the one for me, I think, because if you go back and you look, man, like the entire song is just an ode to hip hop. Yeah. Right. And and that's really like it's a beautiful thing because again, nowadays you don't really see a lot of hip hop tribute songs like that, right? And so hip hop, this thing we call hip hop, man, is beautiful and it's dark and it's complicated and it's love and it's hate and it's anger and it's all of these things, but it's so human and it's so real, man. And I feel like they really captured the essence of hip hop with that song. Yeah, so as I'm listening to you, hip hop, if I had to pick one.
Yeah, go ahead, dog.
If I had to pick one single song from their catalog, man, I think that would be the one that really captures their essence to me.
Yeah, so I'm listening to you talk, and I'm like, damn, I'm having a hard time with that question too. Like, if that question was asked to me, like, I'd be like, I don't even know what I would say. They got so many hits that I resonate with, but I think I share your sentiments with the first album. So if I were to pick an album from the catalog, it'd be the first one. So I actually agree with you on that. But I'm gonna go a different route. So they got so many songs that I love. It's on Uptown Anthem is one, but I think the one that I like the most is probably maybe Uptown Anthem. And I like Uptown Anthem because it's upbeat. It was in Juice. So talk about Juice again. Tupac's in the
Yeah.
video, you know what I mean? So I would pick Uptown Anthem, one of my favorite Naughty by Nature songs. But the other one I
Right.
like off the first album was also Everything's Gonna Be All Right. You know what I mean? At the end of the song, you know, Tretch was like, I remember these words vividly, and he was, you know, when you listen to the first album, he was like, yo, man, if you never been to the ghetto, don't ever come to the ghetto, because you won't understand the ghetto, so stay the out of the ghetto. Like, that's like a mic drop moment, you know what I mean? Back in 1992, that's a mic drop moment, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Yeah.
a mic
Yeah.
drop moment, you know what I mean? Way back in 1992, you know what I mean? But yo, man, Mac, it's been great chopping it up with you, my brother, man. I wish you all the success that you can handle. But now it's time for the Trayvon Martin salute. So we're gonna put our hoods up, pay homage to that brother and everyone else that we've lost through social injustice. And Mac, who are you shouting out this week, my good sir?
Man, I like to shout out the whole team, man. Shout out to DB Entertainment, man, for rocking with me. Shout out to Dion, doing so much hard work behind the scenes, man. Shout out to all the other artists, Satisfied, Spiff, Shevin, 36 and Brimstone, VGE, man. Shout out to all of y'all for the love. I appreciate it. I'm loving what y'all are doing over here, man. Shout out to you and Jess, man. Shout out to the podcast. Again, I appreciate the fact that somebody's standing up for hip hop. I appreciate the fact that y'all have a genuine love for this. And it really shows, man. It shows in the effort that y'all put into this, man. And so shout out to y'all. Nothing but great things coming for y'all, man. Shout out to all the fans, my fans, the fans of DB Entertainment, man. Shout out to the fans of hip hop. Keep rocking with us, man, because we it only goes up from here, man, for real. So shout out to all of y'all. Shout out to the movement, man. Just shout out to the movement in general. Love, man. Love is the key. Love is the key, and we keep preaching love. We always want to preach love. We always want to show love, give love, and when you give love, man, you always get love back. So shout out, man. Shout out to everybody, for real. Salute.
Yo, salute, man. Like, man, that's heartfelt, and I appreciate it, Mac. Like, even when I tell people all the time when I talk to people about you and your talent, and you know, like you're just like right there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know how you got some artists that are like right on the cusp of like getting over the edge, but you know, you got some barriers in place that are kind of keeping you from doing what you want to do, and I understand that, and I know your obligation, and I am so honored that what you are doing for our nation is unmatched. So shout out to you and your sacrifice that you're making for our country, for me to have the freedom that I have to do this platform. So shout out to you, my brother, first off. So shout out to you, Mac. Shout out to DB Entertainment. Shout out to Dion, my boy Dion, man, like the white Suge Knight. You know what I mean? Like, yo, shout out to Dion. Shout out to DB Entertainment. Our sign up here, back here, we got for DB Entertainment, all the artists, as he mentioned, 36 and Brimstone, Shevin. My heart goes out to you, my dude. Spiff, Satisfy, VGE, Mac, Xavier, the whole crew, man. We love you guys, and you are all more than welcome to come back on this platform whenever you all want to. So shout out to you guys. I love all of you. Next shout out is going to go to the ladies in my life. Like, I got all these ladies that I've been thinking about as of late. So first off, shout out to my mom Dukes. Shout out to Mom Dukes. I love you, Mom. Thank you for watching every week, and thank you for giving me the gift of music. You know what I mean? Like, I was really an R&B baby, really, and then I kind of transferred because my dad loves hip hop, so I'm a little bit of a blend of both of them. So shout out to my mom. Shout out to the queen, Diggie, Jessica, baby, I love you so much. Shout out to my sister-in-law, Joelle. Shout out to my girls, Sylvia, Myra, my grandbabies. Shout out to my daughter, Amaya, all the ladies in my life. Shout out to all you all, because without you all, I could not do what I want to do. And the last shout out is, so when you all are watching this, it is going to be November the 10th, which means my birthday is tomorrow, November 11th. So, yeah, I'm getting up there, Mac, you know, getting older, getting wiser. And, but when it comes to my birthday, I do have a birthday wish. My birthday wish, and I hope she's watching right now, is Renee from Jeanne. So if anybody knows me personally, that Jeanne's album Saturday Night is my favorite album of all time, of all genres of music. And my wish for my birthday is to get a shout out from Renee of Jeanne. So Renee, if you ever see this, like if you can give me a shout out or a phone call or something, yo, like that would be like my ultimate dream, yo. So hopefully you get to see this because I love you guys. And the reason why you're so significant is because of Naughty by Nature. If it wasn't for Naughty by Nature, there would be no Jeanne. There would be no Coffee Brown, some other groups that came out of Illtown Records, man. So shout out to Naughty by Nature, man. Shout out to Tretch, Vinny, KG. Like, you guys have put your staple and stamp on hip hop, and it lives on forever, man. So with all that being said, next week we're gonna have a conversation with me, and the voices have been listened to, and I'm bringing back my boy AJP Dub. AJP Dub is coming back next week. Me and him gonna chop it up about De La Soul. So look forward to that, man. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to all of our movement. And once again, as always, shout out to hip hop. Y'all keep it easy, man. 100.